So, today we're ranking all the freaking props according to me, worst to best. Opinion based on a plethora of MFing things, boy. It could be, I don't like their pets. It could be, literally could be anything I want. How's that sound? Does that sound good to you? Let's get it started. My least favorite, coming in dead last, is the motherfucking bureaucrat. And it's weird because it's almost like it's not the fault of the bureaucrat much, because of all the rebalance stuff. They have a hard time doing what they used to do, which was be defensive, AF, boy, bussin', no cap. They can't do that anymore because everybody else has too much attack rating, so their viability in every level of PvP range has kind of diminished a lot. I like their nukes. I think the Froob pets are just, they're so stupid looking. Just look like these abominations, monstrosities, just freaking gross. Not a fan. It's cool that they could charm a pet, I like that, and I like some of the auras, but no, not for me. Now next, unfortunately, which may not really be a surprise to anyone, is going to be Agent. Alright, it's cool as heck that they can false profession. I like the look of a lot of their armors, except their OPFAB, it looks terrible. And actually, their tier armor looks terrible. And that problem's even worse with the Krat. I don't like what the rebalance did to them. They are too godly, and they're just freaking annoying. Like, at 220, if you're not playing an Agent, there's no point in playing the game at 220. And their only redeeming quality to me is I like the old X3 and like FDA Caterwall and all that kind of stuff. Those are cool. Barrett rifles are cool. And being able to false profession, I think, is one of the coolest things in any game, and that's probably what keeps it from the bottom spot. Wow, my GUI looks perfect on this tune. Next is Nanotechnician. I like them more now, but I still just... And again, it's more of a problem with AO than it is with anything else. Their tier armor's cool. Their OFAB's not at all. They look like freaking astronauts with those dang helmets. Same with doctors. We'll get to that later. You know what you do with a nanotechnician? You press 1. I have a tune called I press 1. He's not active right now, so you get a freaking Froob to look at in 2 holes. And you know what he's doing here. He's pressing 1. And that's all he does. Yeah, they're kind of fun in PvP. It's nice to... You know what? I don't really know what it's nice to do. They're okay. Coming up now, we got the Adventurer. And now is kind of where there's no professions that I actively dislike playing. Like, I could gladly make any of these and still enjoy making them, have a good time in PvP or PVM, find fun things to do with them, and really no issue. Like, if I made another Adventurer tomorrow, I'd be super happy making them and finding stuff to do with them. I love them in Title Level 5 PvP. Title Level 6 is cool too, but Title Level 5 Adventurer is one of my favorite professions in-game. And that's what got me into PvP initially, was Deathwalker's 165, or into good PvP. I was terrible beforehand, but still did it. Deathwalker's 165. Is the sound on? Nope. Deathwalker's 165 Aatrox ranged Adventurer. Listen, they got some cool looking armor. Even this cloak is just cool looking. I like that they could shapeshift. The heals are cool. It's FC's love child. Yeah, maybe they cannot perform the way they used to. We'll say pre-re, as in before the rebalance. But still tight. Still fun to play. Love me my 92. Oh man, I should have recorded that with him. 92 one-hand edged. Go lead. Just hope you can crit and finish a duel quickly, because if not, you're going to get dropped, boy. You're going to get dropped real bad real quick. It's cool to be able to heal. It's cool to be able to have all the evades and have Cocoon. Unfortunately, they kind of suck at endgame PVM. Not that I even considered that for these rankings, because why? But yeah, still fun to play. Now really, if we're being honest, you know, Adventurer probably should have came before this, but this is a Fixer. This is the next on my list. Now why is Fixer so low? Because now they're awful at everything, but for the same reason as the Adventurer, Fixer is up here for me, just because there was all those old PvPers, like Strom and who I think may have passed away. If he did, rest in peace. I'm sorry, I've been out of the loop. But if he did, rest in peace. God bless you, boy. And Speedy and dudes like that. And Amped. Like, just seeing those old dudes just running in, ganking, running out, that's a lot of fun. The weapons options for Fixer used to be a lot cool, and we would use the illicit backup lasers. And, Mauser chemical streamers after you crafted them. Those were so cool. Like, I have so many cool memories of Fixers before AI armor released. And look how cool their tier 1 is. Or is that tier 2? Is that not a chest symbiote? No, it's not. It's tier 3. Shows how much I play Fixer. Listen. They can be fun. Horrible at endgame. Oh wait, I kind of hate Fixers. This is the weirdest coincidence ever. One of my org mates, I kind of hate Fixers, laughing my rear end off. Like, GA4 is nice, I don't get hit often, but when I do, I hate losing half my HP. Yeah, that happens. That's why the Fixer's low. Thanks for that. Soldier's gotta come next. Soldier, Fixer, kind of hand in hand. Not really hand in hand. But as Froobs, they both tend to use scouts now, so we're making connections there. What I like about the Soldier is those big guns. Just freaking big full autos. Motherfucking big full autos, boy. And I like that. That's always a fun time. The issue is, you're using a Perennium Blaster from like 15 to 205. It's like, that bothers me. Or you go the pistol route and you're using nothing, or CDRs, I guess. You use Cure Pistol, CDR, and then Dog of War and JCGPP until Job City Guard Portal Pistol until frickin' after 200, after probably 205. But the damage they do is really cool. They're fun in PvP. They have their usages. Using them as a Froob, honestly, is just horrific to me. They're so boring. They need perks in order for them to be fun. Otherwise, you're waiting on the world's longest burst and full auto cycles ever on the Froob weapons. And that's not a fun time for me. Martial honest? I don't know what that is, but the martial artist has fallen a little bit. We're a little down the list now. Why is that? Again, it's more about what happened with the rebalance. They're not as fun at 220 anymore. You could still use them for sure. And Zazen Stance, I just don't like, but Hip just makes that, boy. Hip and Zazen Stance go together so well. Nobody makes better martial artists than him. This 21 martial artist was actually because of him. This one had to go new to equip some items. We got a Termite Nunchaku and a Torturing Tool. This took weeks to farm one at quality level 93. Why I like them. So much damage, so much fun to level. Even, I can't say I have as much fun with them at higher levels, even though I don't. Like, TL6 is okay because I don't hot swap anymore, but because I just use claws. TL5 sucks because hot swapping is such a pain now. TL7 I won't play, obviously, and I like 2 and 3. The Librarian is still one of the best freaking twinks I've ever seen. Hip 60 martial artist, but they're fun. The damage is awesome. The heals are nice. You want to catch hands, boy? It's weird. I feel like I've filmed the video here before. Next is Doctor. Now, why the Doctor? Pretty much smack dab in the middle. I like healing. I think healing's cool. I like that they have multiple weapons options. At 150, the cool thing used to be go one-hand edge. You get the Sword of Curiosity on. You get a Gelid Blade on. It was really cool. You get really defensive. Or you can make a 170 with a one-hander and a right hand, and nobody will ever... How did you get up here? What? They could solo a lot. They could solo Lord of the Void and pretty much anything endgame. I don't know if they could solo Beast. They could probably solo TNH if they wanted. Just the damage is what holds them back a little bit. But it's fun. You get those 3 lines of dots. You can use shotguns too. Like even as a froob, Doctor's really fun because you can go 2 Gelid blades, you can go pistol, you can go shotgun. It's your weapons options are there. You go martial arts, and you see some MA docs, which is really cool. Then you get a lot of heals because you get the Flower of Life from the MA attack. Just cool, man. A lot of cool stuff you could do with the Doctor. So, I know y'all like that 170 Engineer I did a while back with that AMEP boy, but Engineer just stopped being as fun to me. It's really cool to have the blockers in PvP. I like that. It's really cool to have some cool weapons. I love the AMEP. It's a cool freaking weapon, man. However, I don't know. It's just, I still really enjoy playing Engineer. I'm actually leveling one right now just for fun, just to do it. I love the whole trade skill aspect too, if you want to go that route. The only thing that bothers me, again, it's going to be, my complaints are kind of going to all center around the same thing, is endgame now. Yes, Engineer is just a bad boy now at endgame. But for whatever reason, the luster is gone for me there. I don't mind having it. This is a 200, not 220, by the way. I don't mind having lower level Engineers because they could just do so much fun stuff, and they could solo really well too. But for whatever reason, I just don't have the same amount of fun that I used to have, and I'm not sure what that reason is at lower levels, but still love them. So now starting our top 5, boy, we got that Enforcer. One of the biggest reasons is this is the first profession I ever made in Anarchy Online. November 30th, 2002, the first day I ever played this game. I made an Enforcer. His name's Tony. My name's Tony. I don't know where I came up with the name though. The weapons are so cool. It was the first real twink I had ever, well, I didn't say real, but like the first PvP action I actually partook in was with an Enforcer. They get so many cool weapons. 2-hand blunt, 2-hand edge, 1-hand blunt, 1-hand edge, piercing, melee energy. Like, you have so many options. And the honed edge of Tarask, or just the edge of Tarask, what a cool weapon. They're so much fun to twink. You could get so much HP, go defensive, go offensive, just all out freaking alpha boy. And they just look cool. The change to the Rage Nano kind of sucks. I used to love how you'd get that ticking dot from it, and how big Enforcers would get from their old Mongos, which were way cooler. But I've got no complaints with the Enforcer, man. Just super fun. Just not in PvM. I just can't. But PvP is what puts them here. So much fun. You know, the Trader for me was always really fun. Like, really fun. But I think what had cemented it for me was when we did the Let's Play together. That was when I really got to dive much deeper into the Trader than I ever had before. And what I made, this is before the Let's Play, but I made that 100 Trader. And before that I had like a little, once Nanites came out, I had like 76 Traders and stuff that were casting Nanites, not self-buff obviously, but casting them nonetheless. And it's so much fun to be able to drain your opponent and make them feel helpless. Even in PvM they're pretty fun because of the weapons you can get on. You get that 6 slot on at like level 5 just to say, frick you, I did it, look at me, I'm important. It's just fun, man. I like any level range PvP with them because they could do pretty much anything. Like, I remember Swifty made that Jame dock, which was really cool. I remember when the subway was still in West Athens and had that level 24 cap on it. Tarzan had a 24 Stygian Desolator Trader, which was the meta for TL2 for a while, which was just so gosh dang cool. Ithaca is one of my favorite weapons. I like Traders. I like pumping those big aim shots. I like draining. I just don't like dueling them for the most part. That's my only issue with them. That's probably what kept them out of the top 3, because I think 4 is a pretty good area for them. I have a 220 that's ranged energy, and I absolutely love playing him. They could trade skill as well. They get some pretty cool looking armor. There's not much to dislike about them. They could do a little everything. Heal, damage, freaking PvP, drain, ACs, add all off, add all def. Let's freaking go! Now for my favorite pet class, profession, whatever. For my favorite pet job in Final Fantasy XIV, it is going to be the Metaphysicist. I was gonna make a joke. I don't remember Final Fantasy XIV like at all. The last bit I was playing there, I was playing Gunbreaker because I started to enjoy tanking. But it's been quite a few years since I played FF14. I can't do the whole weeb stuff. I'm sorry. I'm not an anime guy. For those of you that's fine. But the story and I just can't. But let's talk about the Metaphysicist. Easily the best pet class. I like the demons. I like the balls. I like how much damage they could do. They get nukes that stack with each other. You could get some initiative debuffs. You get some damage debuffs. You could go bow. You could go pistol if you want. I mean, 2 lusts to 220 really isn't bad. The demons are cool. The Rywin is cool. I always wished we got... Because there was talk when SL was coming out that we were going to get... Or not when SL was coming out. When the 220 pet was coming out. Which was AI or LE, I forget which. I think it was AI. That we were going to get the portal mob in Pandemonium as the pet, which would have been way cooler than having a big ass Tig as a pet. But that's okay too. Still, I could make one of these every day of the week and love it. I could make... I don't know how many I have. I have way too many. And I just have so much gosh dang fun with them. I had fun putting a bow on a 158 MP. That was really fun. I think I was the second or third person to do that. That was cool. Or no, actually I was like the 5th. I wasn't that early on. Because a couple people had done it. And then I just asked a couple questions and it really wasn't that bad to get on. And you get to make your own weapons too. You get your shields. You get the weapons you can make actually do pretty good damage as long as you can get your nano skills up. And speaking of nano skills, you buff those nano skills. Once you get an MP to 18, they could be good in PvP, any level. And they're going to be so much fun, and they look so cool, and the pets are so cool. I love MP so much. They are just lovely. We've gotten to our top 2. And the top 2 are the Shadowlands professions, oddly enough. But I know I said earlier Shade was number 1, but Shade's actually going to be number 2. The damage they do is so much fun. Being able to solo Lord of the Void and TNH and whatever the heck I want is so much fun. Their tier armor is freaking sick. The fact that you don't have to spend 5 hours buffing them is freaking gnarly. Like, who wants to buff for that long? And you get so many cool... You get Sneaking Health Drain, which is awesome. Shade's Caress, and really cool just thematic buff for them. You know what I'm saying? Just awesome. You get your initiative debuffs on the procs. Same with the stuns. The dot procs. Just cool. You could recover so much HP. You can get so much damage. You get so much evade. My goodness, do I love these guys. And I think part of that also has to do with them, for me, having been one of the first 200 Metablade Shades, dual Metablade Shades. There's an even more special place in my heart for these bad boys. And how could there not be? They're so cool. It just sucks what happened with them now with PvP, again with the rebalance, but I'm okay with it because I could still gank and kill docs. It's just if I don't kill someone off a gank, things go sour pretty quickly. But I could still, if they're not paying full attention, drop an MF real fast. And being able to use tattoos is so cool. The way they tie in with the Shadowlands is awesome. Being able to get your own spirits, there's no implants. I also just started up another shade just because I have to, just because they're that much fun to level. And I don't think anybody could really debate that. You want to dance on the keyboard? It's great. You might want to make a few keybinds though. I already told you what it was. It's Keeper. We went over that when we went over Shade, or just the keen-eyed amongst you are going to realize, oh, the Keeper's the only one he didn't say. And that's how you would come to that conclusion. So if you were able to come to that conclusion on your own, delete your account. So Keeper had to be first. My first 220 was Keeper. As soon as SL came out, I'm pretty sure I made a Keeper, and I've just been consistently making them since, and I can't stop. I love them in PvP. They're okay in PvM. They're not my favorite thing in PvM, but the fact that they could survive, and much like the Shade, because the Shade could buy its weapons in SL Gardens if it wanted to from 1 to 220, and that's all it could ever use, and it would do fine damage. The same kind of goes for Keeper with Guard of the Gentleman, Job Defender Naginata, the Sword of Sir Tristram. You got options there, man. And if now that you have the option to go, oh crap, I just punched the microphone. I hope that was really loud. The fact that you have the option to go melee energy now too, it's just so cool. And their auras, I love them. You get the heals, you get the AAD, you get the damage, you get blockers. Regular attack blockers, not special. We're talking about Shade here. No, we're not. We're talking about still not talking about trade either. We're talking about a fucking keeper, boy. That's what it's about. Love the keeper. I don't know what it was, but as soon as they came out, I felt this like odd connection towards them. Just because they seemed like, for me, what was missing from the Enforcer that would make it more enjoyable. And not to say that they necessarily do much more than an Enforcer does. They just do different things. And the fact that they're more support-based, I like that. I like helping my friends out and doing things that are going to enhance the team instead of just being a jerk and focusing on myself. You can't go wrong ever making a keeper. You make a level 1 twink, you make a keeper. You want to make a 220, now you can make a keeper because they're viable now, thanks to melee energy, because you check and duck, you get a full set of Awakened on. They're fine at 220 PvP. I have one, but I think I have 3 220 I might have 4 220 keepers. I like keeper. I have one at every level, as you guys know. I have an 18, 20, 225s. I'm looking to make it 21. I can't get enough of them. They're super fun. Like, between this and Shade, Shadowlands knocked it out of the park when they came out with these two professions, because I could really make either. Or, I don't multi-box, but like if I did, I could multi-box Shade and Keeper and just take them both to 220, and it would be an absolute blast. Well, it wouldn't. I don't enjoy using AO Sharp, so... Not that it's not a good program, it does great things. Multi-boxing is not my preferred way of play. I like manually doing my ish. And for those of you that don't, that's okay too. Listen, hey, everybody's got their thing. The Keeper is just so cool. The weapons, sort of the illuminated frickin' copy of the Excalibur, the shield, the frickin' lightsabers. You want to be a Jedi? You want to be a Sith? You get to pick your color. It's fine. You could do whatever you want. You have so many weapons options, although they fall in between two-hand edge melee energy. The Argument, what a cool weapon. That is now viable. Although I believe it was viable, because I'd used it on a 200 Frub Enforcer for a while, and I love it. It does great damage. But now I level up using them. Yes, it's a pain to have to go to Hollow Island to, do what you gotta do, but they're so cool to use. They're so much fun. And the tier armor, which I don't have any on here. I didn't feel like twinking Complet to do it. Them and Shade just tied for the best tier armor. They have this very regal look to them with the Keeper. And the OFAB armor actually looks kind of nice too. I can't deny that. The aesthetic of playing a Keeper is just awesome. Same with Shade. I feel like with these two professions, Funcom did such a better job with the lore and kind of crafting the professions, because everything seems more fitting with them, but that also makes more sense because the expansion was kind of based around them. They had more drive to make more connection, if you know what I mean. But hey, thanks for watching. I actually don't know what I'm gonna say, so I'm just gonna end the video.